Before I start, I would like to ask you some questions. How many of you have used floppy disk for storage? Or how many of you have seen your grandmother grinding wheat in that grinding wheel called chakki or ghanti? How many used stone grinder to make chutney or batter? Almost no one, right? We have adopted modern latest equipment and appliances for our daily life and do not even realize that it has made life so much easier than just a couple of generations ago. Good morning, friends. I am Himani Shah. Learn, unlearn, and relearn is the mantra of modern world today. This couldn't have been more relevant. The generation born after 1960 has gone through this maximum time. The world is changing so fast that changing oneself for survival has become necessity rather than choice. As it is truly said that change is the only constant in the world. George Bernard Shaw once said, progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. According to Hindu, learning is the process of realizing that something which we learned earlier is incorrect, ineffective, or obsolete. We need to admit it and erase such bad conditioning and misconceptions for good from our mind. It is the process of saying bye to old, obsolete, and outdated paradigm to embrace the new paradigm and willingly undergoing a paradigm shift. Let's learn, unlearn, and relearn with few examples. Number one, children start learning from their environment. That is absolutely natural because their minds are blank slate. Later, they join school and learn so many things traditional. Suddenly, one day, there is a pandemic and whole world comes to standstill. Gradually, businesses and educational institutes start online sessions, which is quite different from the old one. And children need to compulsorily enter the digital world. Now, they learn everything and submit all assignments online. So now they type things instead of writing. They learn through books. Then they had to unlearn it to relearn the new online method of study. What would have happened if they are still stuck to the old method and did not adopt the new one? There will be no progress, isn't it? Example number two. I was in middle school when computers came into existence, and our school was the first one to start a computer center. I learned it from them. However, every year a new version of operating system would come. So was it possible for me to progress if I couldn't adapt it? No. Firstly, I learned DOS, then unlearn it to relearn Windows. Similarly, I learned to use floppy disk, then had to unlearn it and relearn to use CDs, then DVDs, then pen drives, then memory card and chip. Example number three. Nokia was one of the best mobile manufacturing company. New technologies evolved and Android came into existence. Nokia didn't embrace it. And now there are other companies much ahead in the mobile market. This could be best supported by statement of the futurist Alvin Toffler. The illiterate of 21st century will not be those who couldn't read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. It is not only about material things, but also so many philosophies and religions believe that it is necessary to unlearn the old habits, declutter your mind from past, and relearn to become a new human being, a better human being. If you don't dispose the useless things, how will you be able to store new ones? It's true for our possessions as well as our thoughts. Jim Collins, author of Good to Write, said, the most important lesson lay not in what I needed to learn, but in what I first needed to unlearn. The best example of this is Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, who was the superstar of yesteryears. To keep himself relevant, he learned every new style and technique which followed his peak of career. When televisions became a quotidian activity, he entered into it with a bang and best show Kaun Banega Crorepati. He is equally active on social media, and that has kept him as famous and popular as earlier, even after three generations. Similarly, we can have n number of examples if we go through the human history, which has witnessed so many revolutions, recently being industrial and technological one. So it was rightly put in Forbes, embrace the discomfort of change. I would conclude with an old melody, छोड़ो कल की बातें, कल की बात पुरानी, नए दौर में लिखेंगे मिलकर नई कहानी. So friends, let us reflect, renew and reset and reboot, restart and rejuvenate. Thank you.